All right, guys, welcome into another episode of Freshman Friday. I am your host, as always, Blake Sorrell, and today I'm joined by Max Sheppard. Max, thanks for coming on today, coming on to talk some sports with us.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
All right, Max, let's start with my first question. Where are you from, and when did you start playing golf?
I'm from Columbus, Georgia, and I started playing golf in the 6th grade. Right after I finished with playing, I was kind of finished with baseball, so I took after my dad and started playing golf.
Nice, man. So it's pretty cool you took after your dad with that. So that leads me to my next question. You won not one, but 2 state championships in high school. What did that mean to you in the moment, and what does it mean to you now?
It was a big deal in the moment. Definitely, it was really cool to kind of be a part of that history of Columbus High Golf and all the great players that have come through there. And it meant a lot to my teammates, too, kind of going through that. And now I look back on it very fondly. I learned a lot from those state championship years and helped develop me into the player I am today.
That's awesome, man. So I got a question for you here. It's about the Masters. So I'm interested to know, growing up, did you have anybody that you kind of replicated your game after? And did you actually watch the Masters at all? And what did you think about Dustin Johnson's performance, if so?
Yeah, I've watched the Masters pretty much every year the past 10 years or so, kind of growing up. If anyone influenced me in the game, it's got to be Tiger. What he did was incredible and kind of inspired a whole generation of players like me to play. And Dustin Johnson's win was really strong. He looked like he was the best player by far in the field and looked like one of the best I've ever seen win the Masters.
Definitely. Setting a course record, obviously, with 20 under. I mean, you can't beat that. That's absolutely one of the best performances that you'll ever see on the course. That leads me to my next question here, Max. So from what I understand, your favorite athlete is Kobe Bryant. I don't know how true that is or not, but that's what I've heard. So my question for you is, Kobe Bryant kind of lived by that Mamba mentality. I want to know, do you kind of live by that at all, and what does it mean to you, if so?
Yeah, I mean, that's just being the hardest worker out there. My goal in golf is to be the hardest worker I know. I don't want anyone to outwork me. If I don't perform at the end of the day, I'm fine with that as long as I give it everything I got. Because if I don't give it everything I got, then I won't be able to live with myself if I fail.
Absolutely, man. That's a good mindset to have, of course. Obviously, the Mamba mentality. Rest in peace to Kobe Bryant, the legend, of course. So, Max, I got to ask you, man, have you had any players on the team kind of mentor you or take on like a role of like guiding you through being a freshman? I know it's a very, very strange change for you coming in and being a freshman, going from high school, going from Columbus to Milledgeville. How's that change been? And have you had anybody kind of guide you through that process?
Yeah, the change has been pretty smooth. A lot better than I thought it would be. I kind of had 2 teammates really step up, Daniel Davis and Austin Mancia. Daniel was a teammate of mine back in high school, so I kind of knew him coming in here. But Austin's really like showed me the ropes around and kind of taught me how to get better and work. We work out together, practice together. We just spent a lot of time together. So it's been good to kind of like watch him and learn a lot from both of them.
Awesome, man. So I'm pretty sure we heard from one of them earlier.
Mhm.
So what are your goals going into the season? And, you know, I know it's hard to kind of see yourself 4 years from now coming in as an 18-year-old and, you know, 4 years from now, obviously being 22 in your senior year. But where do you see yourself, you know, your senior year after you're done with this? Do you see yourself, you know, trying to continue to play golf? Do you think it's a game that you'll play for the rest of your life?
It's definitely going to be something I play the rest of my life. I'm not really sure, you know, if I'm going to decide to play it as a job or not. But I kind of see myself. My main goals are I want to win a national championship. I think if I wasn't trying to do that, then there's no point in being here. That's the ultimate goal. But I also want to be an All-American. So, you know, whatever happens along the way, that's just extra. Those are the 2 goals that I kind of have in mind. But playing after college, I definitely will. I just don't know if I will professionally.
Right. Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, everybody would like to be professional, but it would be nice to go on the course and have that college experience, you know, one day down the road after you graduate, of course. I got one more question for you. So with the whole COVID-19 pandemic going on, I know it's golf, so it hasn't completely changed since it's, you kind of can go out and play it by yourself. But my question is, did you kind of change anything with the way that you were having to play? Did courses kind of restrict you from going out and practicing or, working on your game at all?
I mean, there wasn't really a huge shift. Initially, there were some really minor changes, like I only walk when I play anyway. But some courses made it to where only one person could ride in a cart, but that didn't affect me at all. But a lot of courses put pool noodles in the pins, so you don't take the pins out, so no one's touching the same pins. And then they took out rakes from the bunkers. And then I was just a little more cautious than I normally was, kind of distancing myself a little more. But it being golf and it being a naturally socially distanced sport, it really didn't affect me that much. But it was definitely nice to still be able to go out during our time off and during the time off I had from school too.
Right. I wish I played more golf over quarantine, honestly. There was nothing going on, and honestly, it was, great weather and everything. And now it's cold as all get out today. I'm pretty miserable, but I would love some hot weather, go out, play some golf. All right, guys, that wraps it up for me. Thanks for coming in to another episode of Freshman Friday. I was your host, as always, Blake Sorrell. We appreciate Max Sheppard for coming on with us today, and we'll see you next Friday for another episode.